here and we won't call the police.
Yeah, don't call the police. I got my receipt.
What about for the scooter thing? What about for the scooter you got in the back?
What scooter?
Right there, the one that you just stole.
That's a microwave.
No, the one in the back seat.
Come on, y'all come on by.
Call the police.
Call them.
We didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I watched you walk out the store with that one in the front seat.
There's not no one.
The one in the back seat, go put it back. I won't call the police.
Marcus, go put this in there.
Go put it back. I won't call the police. Go put that scooter back. I won't call the police.
Not worried about that.
I didn't do nothing.
Your brother did. Go take a picture of the scooter in the
And
front.
we paid for this, so I don't care.
No, your scooter that you walked out with.
I didn't walk out. No, we
Shut up! Goddamn mouth.
He said if you put it back, he's not going to call the
She's
cops
an
on you.
old lady. Why would y'all do this
Because
to
you
her?
walked out the store with it, son.
I didn't walk out with anything.
Hey, look, take a picture.
Right there. You want to go put it back? Do the right thing. It's a cool scooter. Do the right thing.
I didn't do anything. Can I get a please for it?
Damn crap.
Hey, it's okay. It's not the right thing.
Come on, let's go.
Sorry.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy.
Here it is.
Get in here, Doc. Here, Marcus.
Grandmother's phone. Not that little blue phone, it's that grandmother's phone.
I come here every day for my lunch break. Eat me, bitch. You can say that shit walking away. Now, how about that? Fuck all this shit, bitch. Fuck it all. Call her. Oh, baby. Now, pick it up, bitch. Pick it all up. Pick it the fuck up, bitch. I ain't destroy shit. I'm making it messy in this motherfucker. Call the fucking police. Call them. Call them. Call them, ho. Call them. Call them. I dare it. Fuck you. Fuck you for.
Anita.
Fuck you, bitch.
I need the police right now.
This how you in. This.
Missouri.
Bitch.
Missouri Avenue.
So as quiet as it's kept, and I know y'all won't admit this because I know how y'all are, but y'all aren't really outraged that the food stamps, the EBT shit is about to get shut down. Y'all are really outraged because now you're gonna have to take the money you normally buy weed, wigs, bundles, get your nails done. Y'all are gonna have to take those funds and buy food now. And don't say I'm lying, because when y'all were receiving food stamps, you were selling the food stamps. So you weren't worried about feeding your children then. But all of a sudden now, you're outraged. Oh my God, like, why we gonna feed our kids the same way you've been feeding them? Sleeping with that man. Getting a few funds from him. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't been worried about them kids and their well-being, but all of a sudden now, you are. Okay. All right.
Damn, they going in their pocket. They going in that nigga pocket. They running that nigga pocket. They running this nigga pocket. They going that nigga pocket. God damn.
I want to be passed around so bad, but my boyfriend just wants a monogamous relationship. It's 2024. Expecting to be with one person for your entire life is like unreasonable. I'm a young 18-year-old Latina. I'm trying to get my face blasted by multiple men. Like, I haven't even had a quickie in a bathroom stall. I have so much to live for. And you're telling me that I have to stay with this one guy because I love him so much. But there's literally guys out there with 13-inch meats waiting to...
Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kahakodash. Salutations to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who were well for teaching the word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. To USA Shalom. And the 5 videos that played, the first one showed a woman, an elderly woman, which appeared to have her grandkids with her. And they were shopping. It seemed like she paid for a few of the items that she had, but she had the grandkids steal a scooter. And in the parking lot, she was confronted. See, this woman is supposed to be of age where she's supposed to be teaching lessons, teaching the grandkids how to do the right thing, but yet she's teaching them how to steal, how to lie, how to cheat. And when confronted, it appeared to be Edomites, can't tell because there was no one, couldn't see who was speaking, but they were filming. And they confronted her and they threatened to call the cops on her. She held out to the very damn end until the boy started crying, you know, because he didn't want to steal. You could tell he didn't want to steal it. But she pretty much, you could tell that she kind of like, you know, she forced him to do it just by the way he was acting and her persistence on he didn't steal anything. This goes into Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. If this woman had any, you know, any sense of righteousness, she wouldn't have attempted to steal that scooter. You know, if you can't get it now, you go and you get it later. But no, she had to go try to steal it and then had her grandkids an accomplice to the stealing, which is dead wrong, you know. You pay for all the other items. You could have put something back and paid for that. You didn't have to try to steal it. You could have came back and got it, you know, a week later or so. But that's the wickedness of our people. Throughout history, our people have been like this, but mainly in this last captivity, Babylon the Great, our people are. It's like the wickedness has gotten more intense. Where, I guess, with the adaptation of the cell phone, you know, everything seems to be at your access. So it's like you don't want to wait for anything. You don't really want to wait to purchase something. You want to take it. You want it right now. You want it. You don't look for. You're not looking at tomorrow. You're looking at today. So today, it was all about getting it today. The grandkids wanted it. Probably made a little stink inside the store why they couldn't get it. So she just, you know, decided, you know, let's go steal it. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. This is mainly towards men, but it seems to fit this situation where, because she doesn't abide in the law of the Bible, but she abides in the law of man and despiseth wisdom, which makes her, you know, pretty much all her labor's unfruitful, man. So it's like you out here doing wickedness, calling it good, pretty much. So you get money, whatever little bit you're getting, and you spend it, and you're spending it, but you're not rationalizing what you need to buy or what you should buy, wants and needs. But this is Babylon, where everything is pretty much at your access, so people can't wait. So they'll do anything in their power to get what they can at the moment. And that makes their works unprofitable, man. Unprofitable to the Lord, unprofitable to themselves. And right now, and you know what I'm saying, in that particular video, she done put her grandkids into a situation where they can get entangled with the law. Wisdom of Solomon 3:12. Their wives are foolish and their children wicked. If she has a man in the house, which it appears not, because you know when you have men in the household, that type of thing tend to not happen. That's an older woman. You know, older men and older women tend not to do things of that nature. So when you see a woman doing something like that, yeah, you can kind of suggest she going to bed alone. You know, not you can't tell from the video because it didn't go that deep, but you kind of see that if there was a man in the house, he left. Whether he died or he just picked up and left. Most likely, you can't say for sure, but this woman is it got ratchetness in her, man. So ain't no man gonna hang around for that, man. And because of her foolishness, she's making her kids wicked. Because if she's raising her grandkids like this, who's to say how she raised out her initial children? These are the grandbabies, and she's teaching them how to steal. So how wicked are the parents? In that second video, you had a woman. Don't know why she was enraged like that, but she was in a fast food restaurant and had her son with her. It appeared to be that was her son. She had a kid with her. And just went on some type of crazy tirade and just started destroying the place. Whatever you needed or whatever you was trying to get out of there, however a person treated you in there, it didn't condone for you just to tear up the establishment the way you did. That type of wickedness, man, like when you look at women like that, you just don't want to be bothered with them. You want to leave them alone. You can almost say that she don't have a man in the house either. First Peter 3:5. For after the manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in power adorned themselves, being subjectable unto their own husbands. See now, that type of woman, ain't no man gonna stick around for that type of nonsense. If you like that in a fast food restaurant, only Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai knows how you acting, behind closed doors. When you dealing with a man, and no man wanna deal with that type of nonsense, man. Especially after you come home from work, you don't work long hours, and you wanna come home, you kind of wanna be peaceful. And you have a woman that's just outlandish with her behavior. So imagine that being a household setting. A woman she probably just throwing shit at him because he not responding to her in the manner that she would hope. So she's out there just launching dishes and cups and all sorts of items in the house, throwing chairs and all sorts of things. You could just imagine what the fuck she's doing behind closed doors in a private setting. Proverbs 30 and 12. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. This is basically saying they're unclean in faith and in truth. So if you don't pick up the Bible, if you don't try to get closer to the Lord, even though in this wicked society you're going to get that plantation Christianity, which is definitely not of the truth. But if you study the Bible, if you read it, then you tend not to fall into these type of traps. These type of traps of the mind. You have more patience. The book teaches patience. The book teaches having faith. True faith. Ecclesiastes, the book of Sirach, 25 and 15. No poison is deadlier than the poison of a snake, and no anger is deadlier than the anger of a woman. And that was displayed right there. That's a perfect scripture that shows an example of an angry woman with no self-control, no discipline. Didn't keep in mind that she had a kid with her. So what kind of role model, what kind of example are you setting for your child? And as we get further and further into prophecies, you're starting to see these women just act real like demonic in their behavior, their attitude, just overall how they function is just demonic. Sirach 25 and 16. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. That sums it up too. When you looking at that woman, both of them actually, those first two clips, when you look at them, what man gonna deal with that, man? In the first clip, you're gonna have the police coming to your door, knocking on your door because you stole something. If a man is home now, he gotta try to defend you or try to defend that nonsense that you did. And the same thing with the second woman, her and her kid, in the fast food restaurant. She's tearing the place up. So now, if she go home and the police actually comes to knocking on her door, now the man got to deal with that nonsense. Sirach 25 and 17, the wickedness of a woman changes her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Both of them have demonic looks on their face. Both women had a look on their face like they were demonic, like they were possessed almost. They were confronted and their whole countenance changed. The second one, we don't absolutely know why she went on that type of rampage in that fast food restaurant, but you could tell she was like, you could see it all in her face. She was just angry. Who knows why she was angry, but it didn't credit to tear up that establishment in that manner. That the third video is a video of a woman basically talking about women in their EBT, and when this presidency that we living through now decides to totally take away that EBT, how you gonna go about getting your food? When all the time when you was getting those food stamps and that EBT money, you you were selling it so you can so you could sponsor your lifestyle, your hair, your nails, your drink, your smoke, and all this other nonsense that we like, you know what I'm saying, that people like to do, especially women. Like to play with their nails, you know what I'm saying? You're using that money to get your nails done, you're using that money to get your hair done, your toes done, buying stupid ass pocketbooks and silly trinkets, tattoos and nose piercing and belly piercings and who knows what else. But the woman that was basically confronting them with speech, she was saying they was buying bundles with it. So that means you was buying a supply and pretty much selling it. You don't buy bundles just to keep in the house, you know? You don't buy bundles to smoke. You don't buy bundles to use. You buy bundles to sell. Ecclesiasticus, Salakia, the book of Sirach, 25 and 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. There are going to be some dark times, some hard times for these women coming up. As we move further in prophecy, we getting closer and closer moving into Jacob's trouble. We already at the beginning stages of it. You see it. But as we get more into Jacob's trouble and the prophecies fulfill themselves, the portion of her sins are going to fall upon her, man. It's going to be dark times out here, and you're not going to be able to feed yourself. You're not going to be able to pay for your rent when that MOTB is pushed out. You're not going to be able to buy or sell anything. So what are you going to do then? Who are you going to rely on? Who are you going to lean on? Whatever man you did have around, if he was worth anything, you done pushed his ass away. So now you're basically on your own. Verse 20. As a climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. That's rough, man. That's rough, man. All she do is talk crazy. And climbing up a sandy way, that's just a rough patch. That's a rough way to go. That's a rough walk. That's a tough walk. So basically, you're gonna get tough and you're gonna get rough and tough talk from a woman. Especially, you know, these modern women who done fell victim to white women's lib, the women's liberation movement. You done fell victim to that. So now, you trying to push your agenda, your motives, your intent on the man you staying with, or the man that's staying with you, whatever the situation is. If your man is working, when he come home, he don't want to hear a whole lot of nonsense, man. He don't want to hear a whole lot of nonsense. He don't want to hear a whole lot of bullshit. He just want to come home and relax. Preferably with you, but because of most women's actions, men come home, he really don't want to deal with you because he knows there's going to be more drama. Women's lives are unexciting, it's not exciting to them unless there's drama around. Verse 22, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Verse 23, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband is distressed, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. That's exactly why a man won't stay. That's exactly why a man won't stay in the household, because he don't want to deal with that type of nonsense. So you're left to your own inventions, you're left to your own interpretation of things, you're left to your own devices, you're left to your own way of living. Most men, a real man will have structure in the household. Most men, a real man is going to have that stability. He's going to be strong. He's not going to take too much nonsense. So when a man come home, or however it may be, when you're in the household, a man don't want to go through all the drama. And it seems like the more TV women watch, the more drama they create. So you watch all these silly ass reality shows, and all it is women fighting, soft, weak dudes fighting, cursing, or using foul language. And it's not really entertaining. It supplies that wickedness in you, man. It sets a fire to that wickedness in you. And you are what you consume. So if you consume this type of nonsense all day, this type of bullshit, this is the same thing that comes out, that's projected out of you. So don't no real man want to deal with that. So inevitably you're going to push your man out the house. In that fourth video, that was amazingly a wicked video. Like, you had these two chicks that tried to rob another guy, that tried to rob a guy. It seemed like they all knew each other, but nevertheless, they tried to dig in his pockets and take whatever he had. And when he went back down and he got rough with him, you had these simp ass dudes come out of nowhere talking about, like, you pretty much know the conversation that was going on, that they were having. Why you hitting the woman, and you shouldn't put your hands on a woman, and man, them two hoes need to get their ass whooped. If you're a woman and you man enough to try to dig in another man's pocket to take what he got, like literally try to rob this dude, try to rob a man, you deserve whatever comes to you. If he punch you in your head, you deserve it. I'm not condoning violence, but ain't nobody gonna stand there and let somebody rob them. Not no grown adult. Like, if I'm an adult, you're not gonna rob me like that. Not no woman. Unless you got me at gunpoint, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let you go in my pockets and take what I got in my pockets. So I don't condone violence, but if you're trying to take something from somebody else's possessions, expect to get that feedback. Expect to get that type of energy dealt back to you. And then you got these two simple ass dudes trying to defend that nonsense. Sirach 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. See, from the beginning, when Eve was deceived by the serpent, that's when our destiny was set, as far as like life and death. How we was gonna move about this planet. Because she was easily deceived by other nations, by other nations. And negated the law and the rules that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai gave them, we all doomed to die. We all have an expiration date now. And in that same breath, you can't allow a woman to have that type of liberty to go astray. You know what I'm saying? You can't like, they'll go astray, man. You can't allow them to go astray. You gotta constantly like be on their back, pushing rules and regulations on them, not in a manner where they can't breathe. But you want to make sure that they don't go off, man. You want to make sure that they're not a vessel that's leaking water. You know what I'm saying? You want them to maintain the water. You want them to maintain what you're telling them. You want them to maintain some type of value. Verse 26, Sirach 25, verse 26. If she go not as thou wouldest her, cut her off from the flesh and give her a bill of divorce. Let her go. And that's what a lot of men are doing, man. See, a woman might kick a man, like you might hear a woman kick a man out, but he don't necessarily have to leave. Like, women say a lot of things that they don't mean. They real irrational and emotional with their tongue. And they'll say things that they just don't mean. But it comes to a point where a man just gets tired of talking. He gets tired of trying to see you straight. And he gives you that bill of divorce, and he goes on about his business. And that's when you get that woman that talk about she don't need no man. But at the end of the day, you always gonna need a man. You let that white women's lib movement skew your perception on life. Because when these Edomite women go home, man, if she has a man, when she go home, she's subservient to that man. She's submissive to that man. But yet she tells you not to, and you go ahead and follow that nonsense. And how does that pan out for you? You go to sleep by yourself, or you go to sleep with the company of strangers every night or every other night. That fifth video was just off the wall. That was a young northern tribe chick. She looked like she could be an Ephraimite, you know, young Latina chick. She goes into this whole thing about how she wanted to be defiled. She goes into this whole thing about how she wanted multiple partners, and she want her face to be defiled, and she just, you know, she want to be turned out, pretty much. She want to be turned out by multiple dudes. If you listen to that video, man, that was just insane. And she real young at that, you know. So she got a lust demon on her, man. She got a wicked demon on her, man. And she not bad looking either. So, you know, a lot of guys are gonna fall for that shit. And she's gonna get defiled by many men. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 25 and 13. Give me any plague but the plague of heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. She's gonna have some dude like really digging her, and she's not gonna be into him because she want multiple partners, man. And that dude gonna be he's gonna bend him out of shape. And he might mess around and catch an STI or some other funky disease from her ass. Ezekiel 23 and 19. Yet She multiplieth her whoredom, and calling to remembrance the days of her youth, wherein she played the harlot in the land of Egypt. Verse 20. For she dotted unto her paramus, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. Dotted means to receive a great deal of love, affection, attention, often to an excessive degree, where the giver of that dotiveness may overlook the faults, all faults. Paramus, the definition is a lover, and often a secret lover you're not married to. In the Hebrew, it pretty much means a concubine. So she basically wants to be, she just want to be like, community pussy. She just want to be tossed around. She don't care she pretty much don't care who she sleep with, as long as she gets the experience. She don't want to deal with one man. Now take me back to Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, 25 and 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. This type of woman you don't want to desire, man. You don't want to be you don't want that type of woman in your bed, man. She's gonna bring you all sorts of drama. Whether it's another dude that's really into her and he feel like he should be the only one dealing with her, or she might bring you some type of funky disease, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have to feed her and all this other nonsense. You don't want to deal with a woman like that. Even though she's pretty as hell, you don't want to deal with that type of woman. It'll be a lifetime of misery, especially if you mess around and get her pregnant. Now, I'm going to go back to Ezekiel 23 and 20, where she died upon the paramus, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. When you look up the word issue, that's Strong's H 2231. Zairama, if I'm pronouncing it right, is Zairama, flow, issue, semen, discharge. So basically that goes into what she said. She want her face to be all defiled. She wants some guy, she want a guy to discharge all over her face. She want multiple guys to discharge over her face. When you really think about how crazy that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, quote unquote, this is a normal chick. This is not like the chick you would see in the movies or whatever. This is a normal, like the chick you would see in the neighborhood. And then she just talking crazy. Ezekiel 23 and 21. Thus thou callest to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth, and bruising thy teats by the Egyptians for the paps of thy youth. She wants to be fondled, man. She wants that experience so that she can look back and say, this is what I did when I was young. It's like some type of accomplishment that you could tell your grandkids when you get older, or tell your kids when they get older. Look what mommy done. Look what mommy did. This is wild. That's wild. I'm gonna read Ezekiel 23, 19 through 21 in the NLT. verse 19. Ezekiel 23, verse 19. Yet she turned even. Yet Salaki. Yet she turned to even greater prostitution, remembering her youth when she was a prostitute in Egypt. Verse 20. She lusteth after lovers with genitals as large as a donkey, as large as donkeys, and emissions like those of a horse. Verse 21. And so Aholabah, you relive your former days as a youth. Excuse me, you live your former days as a young girl in Egypt when you first allowed your breast to be fondled. Aholabah is related to a young woman, but I'm relating it to the young woman in the video, but it's actually a symbol of Jerusalem playing adulterous wife unto Yahweh. But this is what her goal is. Her goal is to be an adulterous woman with multiple lovers, to be fondled like she was in her. She wants to have that experience, so when she get older, she could remember those actions, those things she did as a youth, when she played the harlot, running around with every man that she could get her hands on. At the end of the video, it just was like that was kind of ill. That was kind of crazy at the end of that particular video, because that's exactly what Ezekiel 23 and 20 is talking about. She lusted after lovers with genitalia as large as donkeys and emissions like those of a horse. That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she was talking about. So, like, if you're a young man in this day and time, in this wicked society of Babylon the Great, man, like the Apostle Paul said, man, you might as well just leave. You know what I'm saying? You might well leave them alone, man. Like, don't even deal with them, because it's gonna be hard to find one that's a virgin. When you find one, she's already, like, when you find a woman, she's gonna have already had multiple lovers, no telling how many, because they take great pride in their quote-unquote body count. They're taking great pride in being sluts and whores, man. Straight up and down. There's no other way to put it. There's no nice way to say it, man. They're taking great pride in playing the whore. And they're not even getting paid for the shit. They're just playing, they just out here willing to risk it all for moments of pleasure. Don't get it twisted, man. Like, if before you came in the truth, before I started reading the Bible, like, yeah, I did a lot of wicked shit. So it's like, you know, when do this thing stop? When it stops, when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua just takes this place out, man. That's the only way this madness is going to end. Because as we go further and further in time, as we move, just every day it just gets worse and worse. This is not called Babylon the Great for no reason. This is not called the spirit of Sodom and Egypt for no reason. These are all this place here, this wicked place, Babylon the Great, is all those wicked kingdoms, all rolled up in one, man. And we starting to see. It's almost like its breaking point. It's almost at its breaking point. Just recently in Atlanta, it was like 20,000 new cases of HIV/AIDS, and this was basically coming from men doing men, you know. And these same men one day gonna wake up and like, yo, I want a female. They're like, I've heard dudes say that stupid shit. dude like backside, he like male backside, and then all of a sudden one day he wake up to he wants some pussy. It's bugged out. It's real bugged out, and it's just dangerous. It's dangerous to even deal with anybody right now. So if you could fall back and not deal with anybody in that fashion, man, it's best that you do so, man, because you can't trust nobody out here, man. You can't even trust the older folks, because the older folks are going off. Young folks going off, older folks going off, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua needs to destroy this place. With that, I'll go into Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Sardis children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. And this is exactly how you move when you don't study to show thyself approved, when you don't study the Bible, when you don't read the scriptures, when you don't try to apply the scriptures. You're just gonna be moving in wickedness, man. You're gonna be doing evil every day because you don't have the Lord on your mind. You don't have the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on your mind. And yeah, we are Sardis children. When you look up that word Sardis, it means foolish, stupid. Yeah, we're foolish and stupid children. And we've been so since Eve was beguiled. Since Eve was deceived in the garden by the serpent, we've been Sardis. We've been foolish, stupid children, going about our own ways, not according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Second Ezra 8:50. For great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Our people take great pride in being wicked, man. And you see that more now than ever. And at any point in history, our people are doing more wickedness today than they did yesterday. Each day is like it gets wickeder and wickeder here in Babylon. I'll repeat Sirach 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. Call her Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kaha Radash. I hope this was edifying. I'm going to say Shalom, and Baba Kusha, and Baba Ball.